Good morning and Happy New Year. Welcome to our first 2019 Weekly Member Spotlight. We are back after a short hiatus, and I'm very excited to be here with my friend and partner, Travis Smith. Travis, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We are so happy that you joined us. We've been trying to get you in here to do this for weeks now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, you had a birthday, and the day we were trying to get you, you were like, that's my birthday. And where did you go?
You went to Puerto Rico. Yeah, so me and my wife, we had to get out and get some sunshine during the winter.
Well, that sounds fun.
So, it was tough to kind of decide whether I was going to do this or Puerto Rico, so I don't know.
I appreciate you saying that. This is a pretty big deal. You're a pretty big deal for being here for this. But thank you very much. I'd like to just start off by saying, would you maybe introduce yourself and tell everyone who's watching a little bit about who you are and who you work for?
Sure. My name's Travis Smith, and I'm originally from Ocala, Florida. It's a small town in Central Florida. I was a high school athlete there, basketball, track, and football. I ended up getting a basketball scholarship to play at Cedarville University here in Ohio, which is how I kind of got to Ohio. And then upon graduation, I had a great career, that type of thing. But after graduation, I went back to Florida, and then I came back to Ohio and took a job as a door-to-door salesman for a cable company. It doesn't sound like big deal, but it was 2009, so any job at that time was...
People still answered their door for cable salesmen,
right? But I did that, and I was working with my best friend from college, Jesse Lear, and during that time we ended up becoming roommates at a Village Green property in Columbus.
I remember. How interesting.
Yeah.
What a small world, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Like everything comes full circle.
It does, and now I'm here doing the spotlight.
Right.
Yeah. But we ended up, you're dividing, tasks in the apartment, and my task was to take the trash out. And so instead of taking it out, I would pile it on the balcony, like a good resident, right? Like they all do.
Did you get those letters on your door?
Of course we did. I just didn't talk to me trash.
Right.
But one day, it was the mountain had grown to the point where I had to now take it out. And I was like, man, there's got to be a company that will come pick this stuff up for us.
Right.
So we started going online, couldn't find a company. The only company that would do it at the time was called Valet Waste, and they were only in the southeast region at the time. So I was like, well, okay, there's a company there that does this, the model's there, but nobody's doing it here in the Midwest. So me and Jess were like, dude, this is a great business idea. But we had a business degree, and we had, entrepreneurial bug, right, that we wanted to do. So we went to the property manager, pitched her on it. She said no, of course. We were just two, 22-year-olds trying to, help pay for rent. And so she said, hey, you actually be a real business. So we went back home, got on LegalZoom, got an LLC, and then we started pitching it. And that's the kind of the story.
I promised I wasn't going to throw you, but I'm going to throw you. What was one of your entrepreneurial ideas before this came about that you didn't pursue?
Sure. Well, actually, I did pursue one of them when I was in Florida. I found my mom was a college professor. Okay. And she told me one day that people had trouble getting their resumes put together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was good at putting resumes. I had already had that training at Cedarville, so I started a little business putting resumes together for people. So when our students would come out of our class or like that and looking for a job, I'll say, hey, I'll put a resume together for you for like $30. And I had a few of them. But it's such small beans. Not sustainable. Right. I mean, it's like really.
So how long have you been in the industry and doing this?
So we started VIP in 2010, and so we built the company at its height. We're about 30 employees over 3 states. We had a little over 30,000 units that we were servicing at the time. And in 2018, last year, we were acquired by the company I mentioned, Valet Living. It was Valet Waste at the time, but now it's Valet Living, and that's what I'm working for now. So it was been a great partnership, great transition, and I love working here.
How has your involvement with the GCNDA helped your business?
Oh man, tremendously. Yeah. When we came to, so we started obviously in Columbus, and we came to Cincinnati was our second market, and of course we were nervous because you don't know anyone here, right? And it's unbelievable how when we first got here, we were welcomed in with open arms. It was pretty eye opening, honestly, and it's kind of had that warm feeling ever since. I mean, we feel like it's family down here. Right. I brought my wife down here to events and stuff like that, and I mean even the GCNK when my son was born, Travis Jr., they gave me a baby shower.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was really nice, and I was just like totally unexpected.
Right.
And I love this market, so I really appreciate it.
Well, tell us a little bit about your involvement with the association.
Sure. So I am on the associate council. I'm honored to be on the associate council. I think I'm in the middle of my 3rd term, I think, something like that.
Yeah, you just were reelected. Congrats.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, that was a big race too.
It was.
So that by no stretch is that a shoe-in. That was you earned your position on there, so congrats.
I paid off a lot of people. So
I guess you could win anything, right?
Win anything, right? It is, but no, I'm very involved here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm on the associate council. I'm down here all the time meeting with folks. I actually just joined the Next Gen committee, and I'm looking forward to getting involved with that because I've heard some good things about it. But of course, the travel back and forth between Columbus and Cincinnati, can kind of wiggle with your schedule. But
sure.
I enjoy coming down. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great springboard into my next question, and we didn't even practice it. But speaking of the next generation, you've kind of worked your way up through the industry, and you've got a really unique story. What kind of advice would you offer to brand new industry professionals?
Well, so probably two things. If they're young coming into the industry, I would say use your youth as an advantage, because people love to help someone who's young and trying to do something positive, right?
Right.
We always used to use the analogy, like if you have you got two roads, right? One road, there's a puppy with traffic going through, and a puppy's trying to dodge the traffic.
Right.
And then another road, there's a full-grown dog running around in the traffic,
Right.
people dodging and screaming. Which one are you going to be more likely to help?
Right.
The puppy or the full-grown dog?
That's a good analogy.
Right?
Right.
So, so we always thought about that, and we try to use that as an advantage because we knew we didn't know what we didn't know. When you're young, you can kind of go to people, and people will be willing to say, hey, you know what, I see my son in you, or I see my daughter in you, and they're going to be willing to help. So that's number one for somebody who's young coming into the industry. But number two, I would say, if you have a good idea, don't take no for an answer. When we started VIP, there was a lot of people that said that it was a bad idea, like we shouldn't pursue it. We were making good money as cable salesmen, and we didn't have to start a business, but we knew it was a concept that would bring value. So we pushed on. I mean, past the naysayers and kept going. So I think if you use your youth to an advantage and don't take no for an answer, I would say are two big things for new folks.
I really like that you said that about the youth. Number one, mine has evaporated, so
no.
I'm not following that exact concept. But one thing that this week even has been speaking to me, and I've been talking to my team a lot about it because I'm a huge football fan. And so when you look at like the rookie quarterbacks right now in the NFL and the NCAA who have been in the news and who have shattered records and won championships, you really see the value of people who might be undervalued because of their youth.
Sure.
Is your coffee good? You
It's
want me to warm
really
it up
good.
or anything?
Yeah.
Okay. But I think that that's a really good point, and we sometimes don't, I think, appreciate what the energy and the potential that is in front of us because of your youth. So I love that you said that. No one has ever said anything like that in this, and it's speaking to me right now.
Right. I really think it's kind of a cool thing to. Whoa!
Oh, Travis.
Oh, hey, there's no coffee here, guys. Actually,
we wanted to play a little joke.
Oh gosh,
That's good.
That's youth.
That was good. That is youth for you,
yeah.
and I bet you were getting some chuckles right now, and I bet you were gonna have some comments.
Yeah,
on
I'm sure my wife's
live
gonna be
video
calling
right
like,
now.
dude, why are you doing this stuff, man?
That was good.
Yeah.
And the perfect segue again. Let's get into a little bit more personal about you. That's a great story that you have professionally, but let's talk a little bit about you personally. And you mentioned your wife already. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Oh yeah, so I'm married. I got married in 2016. Have three wonderful children: Madison, Travis Jr., and Zara. Zara, pretty funny circumstances. She was actually born on our wedding anniversary.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was a good wedding anniversary gift,
Really?
of course. Yeah, and and my wife's birthday is on the 14th of September. Zara was born on the 10th. So the whole time, like her birthday, our anniversary, all that was dealing with Zara, right?
Right.
So that's actually kind of why we took the trip in December, because we wanted to kind of do something.
I was gonna ask if it was a milestone birthday or something, but that's a very good reason.
Because my birthday's in December, so we just packed it all anniversary, both our birthdays with a trip. Madison, she's 8 years old, and she's fantastic. She loves arts and crafts. So of course at the house, we're always picking up little cut up beads and stuff. It's like, try to teach her to obviously have to, clean up after herself. But
geniuses are not tidy people.
Exactly,
so I think I would take that as a good sign.
True. I leave messes everywhere. So,
there you go. Well, you sent us over some really great pictures, and we're going to make a post after the video today and include all of the pictures that you sent over, so everyone can see your beautiful family. Well, tell us a little bit about what do you do in your spare time, either with your family or what kind of hobbies. You said you're a sports guy, so.
Yeah, so I still play a fair amount of basketball. I used to do a lot of the basketball leagues, but I've kind of pared those down just because get so competitive that
you're not competitive, are you?
No. Yeah. It gets kind of ugly sometimes.
I cannot tell at all.
My wife's like, you're kind of getting kind of crazy after you come from your games. But I do martial arts as well.
Oh, okay. What kind?
Kung Fu.
Really?
Yeah. So I actually compete and saw a show. And actually last year I got third place at the Great Lakes tournament.
Wow.
So it was they put me in the heavyweight division, but I'm not a heavyweight. I'm not that big. But it was pretty cool making it to the podium my first try.
How did you get into martial arts?
So actually, my oldest brother, he's a third-degree black belt in Kung Fu and Taekwondo, and so I've always kind of looked up to him in that way because he's like never lost a fight.
I thought you were going to say you had to learn how to defend yourself.
Oh, no. We've sparred a couple of times, and I learned like it's kind of hard to defend yourself from a guy that good.
Sure.
Yeah. But I always wanted to learn, and so when I got up here to Ohio and I saw there was a really good Kung Fu school, I decided to join and. I've just been kind of moving up the ranks ever since.
I have to ask the question, the obvious question everybody's thinking about right now. Is your ringtone Kung Fu fighting?
Oh, that's such a good idea.
It has to be. Oh my goodness.
No, but it isn't.
Are you a reader at all? And if so, what's one of the last books that you read?
Sure. So I read the Bible a lot, and so that's my favorite book.
Yeah.
And I actually just recently was reading through the book of Matthew, and the Sermon on the Mount is, it's obviously a famous sermon, and I was reading through that. Quite a bit, just kind of getting reminders because a lot of times it's like you read through the Bible and you're like, I want to hear what actually Jesus says, right? And so talking about loving your neighbor and loving folks that doing good to folks that may not like you, but you're doing it good to them because you should not because of if they do it back to you, right? So just kind of going through those types of things, just get reminders. It's been good for me.
I love to go back and read stories and listen to music. We were talking a little bit about Hamilton earlier because I'm wildly obsessed right now, but I love going back and reading things and listening to things that give you a different message depending on where you are in life, which is obviously what the Bible is meant to do. But those kinds of stories, you get something different out of them. Just like music, you get something different out of what you're listening to depending on what is going on in your life at any given time. So I like that you said that.
That's cool.
Are you a TV or movie buff?
I am slightly. I've cut the cord from cable, just like everybody else. So you got Netflix.
What do you do? Netflix? Okay.
Yeah,
Hulu?
Hulu, yeah. Hulu's actually pretty good.
I could care less about TV, so I know nothing about it except I pay a bill for something I don't use. So we should talk.
So you just watch Hamilton on rerun like all day? On
rerun. Yeah. Only for the last month, but yes.
Okay.
and that's what I do though. I have favorites of whatever. Do you have a favorite TV show or movie that you?
I watch Game of Thrones whenever it's on.
Yeah.
Of course, it hasn't been on for like a year and a half, 2 years, or something like that.
It's got like one more season.
One more season left, so they're still writing the books and stuff like that. Yeah, I know.
Does that make you like anxious?
Right.
You want it to come back, but you don't want it to be the last season?
Exactly.
Right.
There'll be another cash grab. They'll come back with something after this.
So my niece found, she's a huge Game of Thrones fan, there was a box of socks, and it was like an advent sock calendar, and it was Game of Thrones, so it was a different pair of Game of Thrones socks for 12 days.
Wow.
Like, there's some serious fandom out there for that show.
Yeah, you probably could sell those on eBay.
Yeah, I've never watched it. Is it worth getting into?
It's very good. Yeah, I binge watched it for like the first 2 seasons, and then
that was kind of my thought. I'm like, it's gonna end. I'll wait until it ends, and then I'll binge watch.
Watch it all over one weekend.
Exactly. There you go.
A good idea.
I did that with The Walking Dead, and it like scarred me.
I did the same thing.
I was looking around like thinking people were coming at me because I watched 4 seasons in like
1 weekend.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I did the same thing.
Do you have any pets at home?
Don't have any pets.
You've got a really big family and a busy life, so that would probably be a lot to do. Anything on the horizon? Are your kids asking for a puppy or?
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
Madison really wants a puppy really bad. I told her maybe we'll start with like a hamster or guinea pig and just kind of get used to taking care of something. And then maybe, graduate to a puppy or...
Okay, my son got a hedgehog for his 5th or 6th birthday, and it was really cute. And you can train them to be like a lot more friendly than like a hamster or whatnot. So that might be a first, a good pet.
Hedgehog, like Sonic.
Right? Like Sonic, the hedgehog. Ours is Spike. Daenerys Targaryen, something to do with Game of Thrones. Actually. She has 3 names.
One of the dragons.
I have no idea, but its name is Spike, Daenerys Targaryen, something like that. I'll get back to you on that.
I'll correct you after this.
Yeah, please do. So what's the best concert that you've ever attended?
So I've actually only been to one concert.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just not a concert person, I guess. And it was actually at Cedarville, Stephen Curtis Chapman. I don't know if anybody's familiar with him, but Christian singer, yeah.
Yep.
And he came to Cedarville and did a concert, and it was actually fantastic.
Yeah.
I had a great time, and that was the only one I've ever been to. So,
really?
Yeah, but it was a good time.
All right, so after our pre-conversation about Hamilton and hearing that you've only been to one concert, you just seem like you're into the sports and into the physical activity, so maybe that's
Yeah.
Okay, we have in Cincinnati a really great venue called Riverbend.
Okay.
That does outdoor concerts, and it's on a bend in the river on the east side of Cincinnati over by Coney Island.
Yeah.
And, if you go see a concert, like that's the place to go around.
Okay.
Here. It's really cool.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
All right, this is a random question, but if you were an animal, what would you be and why?
Well, my favorite animal growing up was a cheetah.
Okay.
Because I always thought it was like, because they can run fast,
Right.
and it was pretty sweet.
Right.
As I got older and learned more about cheetahs, I learned that they get like punked for their food by lions all the time.
Really?
Yeah, like lions come and just take their food, and they just gotta go and.
Well, they're probably too tired from all the running.
Oh yeah, it's probably true. Yeah.
Like, all right, take the food. I'm gonna catch my breath over here.
All right, that's a good point. Actually, it probably is. So maybe as I've gotten older, I like sharks.
Okay.
Because they can just a great white shark can just do whatever he wants.
And you've got little ones, so you must know the baby shark
Oh
song.
my gosh.
Can
Yes.
you sing? No, I'm just
I
joking.
can actually. Yeah.
I keep saying I wasn't gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Baby shark, baby shark. Yeah.
Now everybody's gonna be singing that the rest of the day, and you're gonna get hate emails.
Exactly.
Well, so one of the things that we talked about is that you're on some councils for the apartment association. Is there any other professional designations or involvement that you have that you want to share?
Yeah, so I'm on the associate council as well in the Columbus Apartment Association.
Oh, okay.
And I was actually just the immediate past chairman of
Okay.
that association for 2 years. And so that was a great experience being on the board of trustees and things like that. Currently, I'm also on the School of Business Advisory Council for Cedarville University.
Nice.
So we advise, obviously, the School of Business, the dean, on where to take the program. And so I've been doing a lot of work with them because they're trying to start an incubator, a business incubator for entrepreneurs on campus. So
Fantastic.
that's really exciting that they got going on. But so those are kind of things I'm involved in, extracurricular. Of course, with 3 young kids, it's tough to do much more.
Right.
But those are some of the things I'm doing right now.
Well, I feel like you've told us so much about yourself, but I've got 2 more questions. Is there some interesting detail about yourself that you haven't shared yet? Anything you can think of?
Yeah, I think something's interesting that I'm a big anime fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, like cartoons.
Yeah.
So I love
Any
anime.
specific genre of that?
Dragon Ball Z is actually my favorite.
Yeah.
That, if I said Game of Thrones, but Dragon Ball Z is actually my favorite show of all time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a movie.
That was kind of started it too, didn't that kind of start the anime craze?
Yes, in the States it did.
Yeah.
So there's actually a new movie coming out next Wednesday, and my wife's taking me.
Ooh.
That's actually my birthday gift.
Yeah.
So we're going to see the Dragon Ball Z movie, and she's taking me to dinner. Honey, I love you.
That's a good wife right there.
Yeah, it's a great wife.
Taking you to see Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, because the fact that she'll sit through with me is
right, exactly.
That's how much she loves me. Yeah, exactly.
Well, congrats for that one.
Thank you.
All right, last question, and thank you again. This has been fantastic.
Yes, great time.
What would people who know you from being in the industry and kind of growing up with you, what do you think they would have to say about you?
Sure. But they say I'm fun-loving, very friendly, open. I love building relationships with new folks. I love getting deep in the relationships I already have. I like to play. I like to make people laugh, and I like to make work fun. I never, if I'm at work, then I want it to be enjoyable, right? So that's a big thing for me, and I like to, if there's ever some tension in the air, I like to kind of cut it.
Sure.
And of course, if there something needs to be addressed, I'll address it directly. But I like for there to be peace, man. Like I'm a peaceful person at heart.
Right.
Unless you do something to make me mad.
Don't test me, right?
Yeah, don't test me, though.
Wonderful. Thank you again. It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much. I thought I knew you. I clearly did not. This is really why we do these kinds of interviews, and this is a great way to start off 2019. So we look forward to getting back into the swing of things with the Weekly Member Spotlight. I just want to put out one public service announcement. It's 2019. We still have so many Fridays available. If you or someone that you work with or know who's associated with the GCNKA would be willing to come in and be a feature, please reach out and contact us at the association office. You can contact me directly, or Michelle, Nancy, Heather, any of us can get you on the calendar for that. We would really appreciate it. We'd love to get to know more about our members like we did Travis today. And we wish everyone a great weekend. Thanks so much.
Thank you.